This is All Access MMA.
My next guest picked up a really big win this past weekend at UFC Columbus, getting it done over Matt Brown. It is Bryan Barberena back here on the program. Bryan, how are you, sir?
Hey, James. Thanks again for having me on, man. I'm doing great.
Where does that win rank in terms of career highlights, taking out a legend like Matt Brown?
Yeah, it wasn't just beating him. It was the joy of the fight as well, man. It was a lot of fun, exciting. Got to exchange elbows with the elbow man himself. Come on. It was a great time, and it ranks really high up there. Probably number one, I'd say.
Love it, man. Anything about him surprise you? I know this is a fight that was supposed to happen before, got rescheduled, but once you're actually in there with him, anything different maybe you weren't expecting?
Nothing I wasn't expecting. Like, I expected him to wrestle a little bit. I expected the sweeps, even though he swept the hell out of me. But nothing really caught me off guard. I thought I was gonna be able to put him away. I guess that's the biggest thing that caught me off guard. Really was I thought I was gonna be able to put him away, and I knew how tough he was. I knew he was gonna be tough to put away and hang in there and fight tooth and nail. So I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised, but I did think I was gonna be able to get the job done and put him away.
After that first round, how are you feeling about the initial round? Because I know that was, I think if people were scoring the fight, they might have given him that round. How are you feeling going into the second?
Feeling good. Obviously, I just felt like, I need to continue to put the pressure on him, continue to let my hands go, continue to touch him. Let's not get taken down, And but again, I felt like he didn't do much. He didn't do anything with the takedown, really. I think I caused more damage on the way up than he did on, me being on the ground, and was able to, really cause a lot of trouble for him and a lot of damage in those tight situations. In the clinch, I believe I outworked him in the clinch, out-elbowed him, which is, awesome. Like, that was one of my things that I said, leading into this fight, that we were going to exchange elbows and that I wanted to better him in that area. So I think I did that, and I think I hurt him often. And so I think that's what, really helped me in the judges' decision.
I think people watching at home felt like you were going to get the decision. What's going through your head when it does go to the judges' scorecards? You mentioned not finishing him. It's in Ohio. What's going through your head at that moment?
I felt confident that I won,
Mm-hmm.
When I went to the split, I still felt confident. They announced my name. If you watch back on the replay, you see me kind of mumbling something, and I beat Matt Brown. I beat Matt Brown. I beat Matt Brown. Just keep repeating it to myself, because I knew it was what I did. I knew I beat him. It was closer than I would have liked. 100%. It was closer than I would have liked. And, he's a gamer, and it was fun. But I knew I beat him when it came to the decision.
And then you had this great post-fight speech that unfortunately I don't think a lot of people could hear because there was so much booing. I still got you there? Oh, sorry. No worries. You're a popular guy. I get it. You're probably getting phone calls. Anyways, I'll repeat that. So of course you had this really great post-fight speech, which was awesome, but it was hard to hear because everyone was booing so much, understandably. Matt Brown's their guy. Was that win a little bit bittersweet? Because again, I'm sure you wanted to enjoy this win, but you also have these fans who are rooting for their guy.
Yeah, I expected it. I expected it walking out. I didn't expect it so much at the end, especially in a fight like that. I thought for sure, I'd get more of a welcoming and just a respect thing, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's their guy, and I still just, as respect for Matt, because I'm a huge fan of him. I respect him as a warrior as well. And, as respect for him, respect for the town and everything and where he's from. I got to show respect to Columbus and everything, and all those people there who showed up and, cheered for him, and some that cheered for me. And hopefully I got, some of them to cheer for me for the next fight. But whatever it is, honestly, the only people who I needed to cheer for me that night were cheering for me. So the most important thing was my family, my friends and everything like that. And I got to go in the back and be with my family. And that was the most important part.
And you picked up some extra money, man. I think that you'd take the booing all day if you get a bonus like that. I'm sure you expected that just after the war you guys had, but what do you plan on doing with the money? Because I know you got a lot of things going on outside the cage as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to talk with the boss. That's my wife. And, we'll figure it out, put it together in the places it needs to go. Obviously, this is what we live off of, man. So, it's being smart with our money, putting it in the right places. Obviously, we have our farm, and we need to get some things we need around the farm and some equipment and things like that. So we'll for sure do that and just be smart with it and try to make it last.
anyone reach out after the fight saying they want some money on you winning? Because I looked at the odds. I think it was pretty close going in. You might have been an underdog at one point, but I know that the odds were fairly even. So whoever was betting on you would have got a good return.
Yeah. I got quite a few messages from people, screenshots of their bet and everything like that. And so a lot of people thanking me for coming out on top. And, if I can help that, that's awesome. I mean, that's cool. I'm glad people betted on me. I never advise anybody to bet on me or
right.
But,
yeah, fair enough. Anyone win any big money? Anything crazy that kind of stand out to you as far as some of the receipts you got sent?
I guess, quite a few people were doing like parlays, and it was across like not only fighting, but just like multiple sports.
March Madness too, I'm sure, right? Because there's a lot of sports going on right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just, a total payout with, it was like, I was the only MMA fighter on their ballot or whatever. So, just a few $1,000. I was gonna say not 100,000, but a few $1,000.
Okay, that's good, man. And then, of course, the big story, which is something you and I had talked about leading into the fight, last fight on your contract. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of said it there, but I wanted to confirm it. It's basically UFC or bust. Like, you're only interested in fighting for them. I suppose if someone came to you with a really crazy offer, you might consider it, but is that kind of my understanding? Either you're back with UFC or you're done fighting? Yeah,
absolutely. That is 100% it. I talking with my wife and everything. The goal, the dream was always to make it the UFC, to be here for as long as possible and continue to put on fights and have fun doing it. And I still enjoy doing it, and I would love to continue to do it. And, if not, I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm okay with hanging them up. I'm okay with being on the farm. I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, I'm 100% okay with it. People want to, continue to fight, continue to push me, see where they can get more money or whatever. And that's understandable. But for me, like, if this is it, I'm good to just work the farm and be with my family and live a happy life, man, and continue pursuing that goal instead.
It's been a few days since the win. Any part of you thinking maybe this is it? Because beating Matt Brown and going out with the win, I mean, that's so rare in MMA, right? Like, you see so many guys who hang on a little bit too long, and you've never, sort of struck me as that type of guy to, go do bare knuckle after this. You say you retire, you're going somewhere else. Like, I know when you say you're going to retire, you're going to do it. But, just thinking about it the last couple of days, the fact that you just beat Matt Brown, isn't it a little bit tempting?
I would say, yeah, part of it is, I've been through a lot of surgeries, been through near-death experiences, and came back and continued to fight. And I mean, I fought literally 3 times since almost dying, in less than a year and a half's time. I mean, pretty dang amazing. I'm really blessed. Definitely don't want to stretch my luck too far. But I love the sport and I love fighting, and I feel like I'm now finally hitting a stride again as far as like feeling good and everything, coming back, having to fight coming back from injuries and near-death experiences. I don't feel like I got to put on great, my best performances and feel my best. And I'm finally feeling, going into this fight, I felt great. And I felt, like I'm getting close to being my absolute best and continue to do so. So, I mean, I would love to still fight. I still have it in me. I don't know how much longer I got for sure, but I'd love to still fight. And I think, and I know for a fact that you're going to see me again.
Have you spoken to the UFC since the fight? Obviously, they're happy they gave you the bonus. Do you sort of have like a deadline, like of when like they can decide whether or not they're going to keep you or anything? Is there any sort of timeline, I guess, going forward would be my question.
As of right now, I have spoken with Dana, and we talked and we got something figured out. I'm obviously waiting for paperwork to come through and things like that, but all sounds great. And, I'm happy to say that if the paperwork comes, I'm going to sign it, and it should be coming, and I'll be fighting the UFC. You'll see me again, putting on some shows.
Congrats, man. Well, that's awesome. Again, I know not 100% official. You got to sign the pen to paper. That's why you have documents to back things up. But
but I have spoken with Dana, and he wants me back, and he wants me to continue to fight. And like I said, I'm thankful for him wanting me to still put on some shows and still be there and still be with the UFC. So I got some more in me.
Love it, man. That's awesome. What does that mean to you, man? Like, we've done, I don't know how many interviews over the years. We talked about the health issues. I mean, to still be competing at a high level like this, getting a big win like you got on the weekend, and now getting, again, not 100% official. I want to be clear about that. Another contract potentially. What does that mean to you? Just everything you've been through and still competing, like you said, finding your stride at this age.
Man, it's really, the only word I think of it is just blessed, man. I am truly blessed. God, all the glory goes to God, man. And he's truly blessed me with my life, with my family, continuing to do what I love, continuing to, fuel my body and keep my body ready, to be able to fight and do this. Like, it's hard enough sport to do in general. To do at a high level is very hard, especially with the things I've been through. And, man, I love it so much, and I'm glad I get to continue to do so. And I want to thank the UFC, I want to thank Dana and everybody, and just, man, everybody who's a fan and who watches just the sport is a fan. I just thank everybody, and I'm excited to be able to continue to fight. And yeah, man, when I'm done, when this contract will come through and I'm done after that, that's fine. Like I said, I'm ready it'll be time for me to disappear, and I'm okay with.
Okay, well, let's talk about hypotheticals. When would be an ideal time to return, and any opponents in mind?
Yeah, I do have some opponents in mind. Obviously, I'd like to, I want to fight guys who want to come and fight, who want to come bring it, want to stand toe to toe, want to mix it up, whatever, that's fine too. But who really want to bring it, and Matt Brown was one of those guys. That's why I was so excited about the fight. I think, Robbie Lawler is one of those guys I'd love to fight. Especially because, it's not even so much that, he's how old his age or whatever, how long he's been doing it. I'm a huge fan, and it's his fighting style that excites me the most. I don't care about his age or anything like that, or where he is in his career. I'm a huge fan. He brings it every time. I know he's going to bring it if we fight, so that excites me. I love that. Nico Price, he's another guy who always brings it. Those kind of guys. But, those are some two names right there that are guys that I'd love to share the octagon with because they're exciting fighters. They excite me. I'm fans of them. I'm fans of their style. And, man, those are just two guys I'd love to share the octagon with.
And sort of a timeline, a lot of fighters want to get on that International Fight Week card. Would that be sort of ideal, or would you like something later? What would sort of time-wise be a good time to take your next fight?
Yeah, I don't know. I got some stitches or whatever, but I'm not too banged up. I don't really have a timeline. I just like to kind of see how my body feels initially. It's like I want to spend time with my family. But when everything's hot and things are, you got to ride in a wave, you don't really want to step off the board and go down. So I'd like to get in there sooner than later for sure. Like I said, we got to wait to see this contract comes through and everything, and go from there and talk with my team, talk with my wife. Really, that's the most important thing, is talking to my wife and my family and figuring that out. But Matt Brown kind of did mention, he's not one to ask for rematches, but he would love to throw down with me again sometime. And honestly, man, I'd love to do it. We can do it. This next fight, I don't care. We can do it again. I would love to share the octagon with him again. I'd love to, just again, solely for the reason because I love the way he fights, and I know he's going to bring it. And man, I'd be down to make it 5-rounder, man, make it a fight night main event, and let's go at it again. Whatever. We'll see what the UFC wants to do, but I'm not going to shy away from an offer to fight Matt Brown again. That's for sure.
Well, your fight wasn't the only big one this past weekend. Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars. I'm sure you caught the clip. Just your thoughts on that. Fair or foul, what Will Smith did? I was curious from a fighter's perspective.
I can't speak on it. I just saw the video clip. Honestly, I didn't hear what it was about or why it happened. I just happened to come across the clip. Someone had sent it to me, but I didn't really know like why or the reason for it. So I don't really want to speak on it, but man, he slapped the hell out of him.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's kind of interesting timing, right, as well, with Masvidal and Colby getting into their thing, I think the week before, or that same week, right? So, yeah. Or like earlier in the week, I should say. So, yeah, it's just, we're living in crazy times, I guess. Just no one's safe, I suppose.
Yeah, watch what you say, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Bryan, thanks so much for doing this, man. And again, congrats if, like I said, everything works out with the contract. I know things are looking good, but that's still awesome to see. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife, my kids, Diana, Deegan, Tevia. They go through a lot with me in camp and in this fight game, and this world is, it's crazy. So I just want to, always love and support them. And, I love what we're doing with our farm. So it's pretty amazing. And, thanks to some of my sponsors, Sweet James, obviously my accident attorney, my man, he's always helping me out. La Piazza al Forno for the pizza. My go-to spot, of course, Frozen North Hemp, where I get my CBD. Grappito, where I work my grips a lot through camps and everything. That helps out a lot. Gold Club Canine Groups, I help my dogs. Envisage Sport, Coffee, Marshall Inu, they were, reached out, helped me with the fight and everything like that. So that was really cool. Go check that crypto project out. They're doing great things for fighters, fighting for fighters. So that's amazing. And just, my family, my friends, the Bam Bam Nation, everybody who's part of the Bam Bam Nation, thank you so much for all your support. It's been great, and I'm excited to be putting on more fights for you guys. And thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure's all mine, man. It wouldn't be a fight if we didn't do an interview right before and after, so it's all good. Cool. And I got to mention the hat. Is this a new look, or have you always had the hat like you're in the 50s, like gonna put a hit on someone?
I've actually always had the hat. It's one of my favorite hats. I just kind of got the style from my grandpa growing up. Man, he had a hat just like this, and I just always loved it and was a fan of it. So I had to get one for myself a while back. So